Apple's trillion-dollar empire isn't really built on clean design or powerful chips. It's built on a simple, almost invisible strategy, making it so you don't have to think. In early 2026, Apple announced it had crossed a monumental milestone: 2.5 billion active devices worldwide. That's an increase of 150 million in a single year. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't just about making products easy to use. It's about creating a beautiful trap. So seamless, so intuitive, you'll never want to leave. This is the story of how Apple weaponized simplicity to build the most valuable company in the world. When you unbox a new iPhone, there is no instruction manual. When you open a MacBook, a single chime tells you everything is ready. This feeling of "it just works" is the most powerful product Apple sells. But behind that feeling is a calculated, decades-long strategy. It's a strategy designed to hide insane levels of complexity, remove the burden of choice, and forge an emotional connection that goes way beyond technical specs. It turns customers into subscribers and products into a fortress. Today, we're breaking down that fortress piece by piece. We'll show how Apple hides mind-bending engineering, like its M-series chips, to build a beautiful trap that has captured billions. This isn't just about good design, it's about psychological mastery. To get Apple's strategy, you have to go back to 1997, when Steve Jobs returned to a failing company and brutally simplified its confusing lineup to just 4 products on a simple grid. This wasn't just a business turnaround, it was the birth of a philosophy to focus the company's engineers on doing a few things impossibly well. This philosophy is more alive today than ever, but it's evolved. Now simplicity isn't about having fewer features, it's about hiding more complexity. Take the new M5 powered MacBooks. Apple is literally using this same M5 architecture to power their massive private cloud computer servers. Yet, they engineered it to run completely silent in a laptop, thin enough to slice bread. The thermal engineering needed to manage that power without a fan is mind-boggling. But Apple doesn't talk about that. Their marketing doesn't shout about teraflops or architecture. They show you a featherlight laptop that lasts all day and runs complex apps without a whisper. They've taken a mountain of engineering complexity and hidden it behind a veil of utter simplicity. They're not selling you the cheap, they're selling you the uninterrupted creative flow it enables. This is a deliberate choice. Competitors often get lost in spec wars, bragging about gigahertz and megapixels. Apple gets that for most people, those numbers are just noise. The real measure of performance is the absence of friction. By killing the fan, they kill the distraction. By perfecting the hinge, they kill the minor annoyance. By creating their own silicon, they kill the performance bottlenecks and battery compromises that plague the PC industry. They eliminated thinking. You don't have to think about performance, or battery life, or even how open the device. It just works. And that is the first crucial layer of the beautiful trap. The moment you first pair AirPods with an iPhone is pure magic. You open a tiny white case, and the picture of it instantly appears on your phone. You tap connect, and you're done. Not just for your phone, but for your iPad, your Mac, and your watch too. No digging through Bluetooth settings, no holding down a pairing button, no passcodes. It feels almost telepathic. This experience is the core of Apple's second weapon, the ecosystem. And make no mistake, it is a weapon. That feeling of delight is a strategic mode, designed to make living feel like a huge downgrade. All those features that define the ecosystem, handoff, letting you start an email on your phone and finish it on your Mac, or universal control, letting you drag a file from an iPad to a Mac with a mouse, aren't just conveniences, they're retention mechanisms. Each one is a golden thread, weaving your devices into a single cohesive unit. Once you experience your tech working in perfect harmony, the thought of swapping out even one piece becomes painful. Trade your iPhone for Android, your Apple Watch becomes a fancy bracelet. Your seamless AirPod connection breaks. Your ability to copy on your Mac and paste on your phone vanishes. This is the tyranny of it just works. It creates an incredibly high switching cost. Not financially, but psychologically. You're not just buying a phone, you're buying into a system. And the more devices you add, the stronger the system's gravity becomes. This is how Apple grew its active device base to 2.5 billion. It's not just because they make popular products. It's because those products are designed to be better together. That number represents 2.5 billion nodes in a network. It's why services revenue is soaring, recently hitting a record 30 billion in a single quarter, and on track to generate well over $100 billion a year. Every active device is a potential subscriber for iCloud, Apple Music, and Apple TV. That AirPods magic isn't an accident, it's a carefully engineered lock. Every time you effortlessly flick a movie from your phone to your Apple TV, you're feeling the walls of this beautiful trap closing in. They're comfortable, convenient walls, but they are walls nonetheless. Back in the late 90s, PC makers were selling beige boxes by listing their specs, processor speed, RAM, hard drive size. Then Apple launched the Think Different campaign. It didn't show a single product. It showed black and white footage of Albert Einstein, Martin Luther King, and Mahatma Gandhi. The message was clear. We don't sell computers. We sell a tool for people who want to change the world. This has always been Apple's secret sauce. They don't sell what their products are. They sell what their products let you be. Creative, innovative, and different. While competitors shout about technical specs, Apple whispers about identity. This continues today. When the iPhone 17 launched, rivals might have focused on having the highest megapixel count. But Apple creates cinematic short films about the family using the phone's camera to capture memory. They get that emotion is a more powerful selling point than data. This focus on feeling over feature is why Apple's marketing is so effective. It bypasses the rational brain, which compares specs and prices, and appeals directly to our aspirations. This philosophy extends right into the product itself. The satisfying click of a MagSafe charger, the haptic tact when you scroll a list, the smooth animation as you unlock your iPhone. These are all micro-interactions designed to create a sense of quality and delight. They're functional and necessary, but emotionally vital. They build this subconscious feeling that this is how things should feel. And behind this emotional engineering is the same hardcore tech. Look at massive demand for iPhone 17, or the rumors surrounding the upcoming iPhone 18's A20 chip and variable aperture camera. They are packing in world-class hardware, but they will still just market it to you as Apple Intelligence to make you feel safe and secure. They know privacy is an emotional promise, while neural engine architecture is just jargon. They'll even leverage partnerships with companies like Google for the Gemini models to supercharge Siri, but they'll make sure you know the experience runs on their own secure hardware and private cloud compute, making you feel safe. By always focusing on the feeling and the why, Apple builds a brand loyalty other companies can only dream of. You don't just use an Apple product, you become an Apple person. This emotional lock-in is the third wall of the trap, and it might just be the strongest one. So, let's put it all together. First, Apple eliminates thinking by hiding unimaginable complexity behind the simple interface. You don't worry about the tech, you just enjoy the ride. Second, they create an ecosystem so seamless that living feels like a painful downgrade. Your devices don't just work, they work together in a way no mix and match system can. Third, they engineer emotion, making you a loyalist, not just a customer. This is the beautiful trap. It's a fortress built not of stone and steel, but of simplicity, convenience, and identity. The massive demand for the iPhone 17, which fueled a record-breaking revenue of $143 billion in a single quarter, wasn't just for a phone. It was for the key to that fortress. It's why Apple's Service division is a juggernaut. The gross margin on service is nearly 75% more than double than that of hardware. Apple isn't just a hardware company anymore. It's a subscription company with the best retention strategy on earth. The 2.5 billion active devices aren't a sales figure. They're a measure of the trap's success. Each one of those iPhones, Macs, and watches is a user who has bought into the vision, a user from whom the cost of escape grows every single day. And with the company reportedly planning to launch over 20 new products, that ecosystem is only going to get stronger. This isn't a critique, but an analysis of a brilliant, ruthless strategy. Apple understood something fundamental about us. We crave simplicity. We're willing to trade some freedom and choice for a world where things just work. They took that insight and built the most profitable company in history. They built a world that's so easy to enter and so hard to leave that you just have to stand back and admire the architecture of that trap. Apple's strategy is undeniably brilliant, and it has locked in billions of us. What about you? What was the product that sealed the deal? Was the instant pairing of AirPods, the magic of handoff, or just that feeling of unboxing your very first iPhone? Let me know in the comments which Apple product finally locked you in. And if you enjoy deep dives into the strategies behind the world's biggest companies, make sure to subscribe. In the end, Apple's $1 trillion valuation is the ultimate proof of this strategy. It's a testament to the power of weaponized simplicity. They don't just sell you a phone, a watch, or a laptop. They sell you a perfectly curated, frictionless world. The trap is so beautiful that the thought of seeing a green text bubble or having to manually pair Bluetooth headphones again genuinely stresses people out. They didn't just build a phone, they built a world where you can't afford to escape.